in love with you, well alright, okay, you win. Darling, what can I do? I'll do anything you say. It's just got to be that way. Well, alright, okay, you win. I'm in love with you. Well, alright, okay, you win. Darling, what can I do? Anything you say I'll do, as long as you want me to. Well, the first thing in the morning, you got to greet me with a kiss. You got to make up for all the loving you have made me miss. Alright, okay, you win. What are you waiting for? Well, alright, okay, you win. Darling, one thing more, I'll do anything you say, as long as it's a-okay. Green Valley, welcome. Come on for coming out. Give yourself a big round of applause. Isaac and I are excited to entertain you. You've never seen Isaac here for a treat. Very funny, very entertaining. So grab yourself a drink, just relax, and let us do all the work. All right? Here we go. All day I am asking, all I want from you, for you to just love me like I love you, and that's all you have to do. Alright, okay, you win. What are you waiting for? Well, alright, okay, you win. Darling, one thing more, I'll do anything you say. It's just got to be that way. Well, alright, okay, you win. Well, alright, okay, you win. Anything you say I'll do, as long as it's me and you. Well, alright, okay, you win. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out. How about a big round of applause for the band? That was a good band, huh? How about a big round? You guys just clap for a karaoke CD, so that's cool, man. It's gonna be a good show. Wow, this is great, man. I see all these, wow, this is like that movie, 50 Shades of Grey. This is cool. Well, thank you for coming out. I saw they're selling liquor out there. Anybody drinking? Raise your glasses if you're drinking. Please, please, and drink up for me, because the doctor made me quit. Yeah, said I was drinking too much. I went in for a physical, found out my blood type was Jack Daniels. Can you believe that? Man, I haven't been in a liquor store in 3 months. They put out a silver alert for me. That's crazy. Oh man, these lights are like the police helicopter just found me. Jeez Louise. Well, Green Valley, it's great to be in Green Valley. It's beautiful. I was out with somebody, I don't know where she's at. We were talking, seeing the mountains out here. It's beautiful, Green Valley. Man, it's just gorgeous. But I mean, I don't know, is it me, or does Green Valley sound like it should be a marijuana dispensary somewhere? For all the old hippies, you know, they'll come up from Patagonia and Nanimaca just to enjoy it here. I don't know how Green Valley got its name, you know. Can anybody tell me who the founder's name is, the founded Green Valley, anybody?
The Jolly Green Giant.
We got a funny guy in the audience. Yeah, the Maxon brothers. I mean, what were they thinking? Because everything around here is Mexican. You know, you got Esperanza Boulevard, you got Canoa Ranch, you got Madera Canyon. You know, where was it? These guys were from Chicago. What was it like? Hey, Norm, what should we add? What should we name this place? I don't know. You got Nogales down there. You got Rio Rico. You got Tumacacary. You got Tubac. You got Amado, Aravica. You got Sayarita, Tucson. You got Casa Grande. Let's just call it Green Valley. Well, my name is David Membrilla. I'm going to be your host and MC. They didn't have a chance to announce who I am. I want to say hello to my cousin, Martita, and her husband. They're the Walls. Martita Wall, say hello. Yes. The last name is Wall. They got 2 kids. Between them, they have 4 walls. So they're living in that. I'm from the south side of Tucson. Clap your hands if you know where the south side is. Yes. Right around the rodeo grounds. You know where the rodeo grounds are? It was a tough neighborhood, man, growing up. It was tough. My neighborhood was so tough, the local YMCA stood for Your Mama's a Crack Addict. That's how bad that was. Tough neighborhood. Some guy had a yard sale down the street. He sold everything in the house. He didn't even live there. That's how bad. Little Mexican neighborhood. Everything about that neighborhood. In fact, my first dog was a rescue from Mexico, believe it or not. And at least that's what they told us at the dog pound, you know. But it was confirmed the first time I gave her some leftover chorizo and she asked me for a tortilla and a side of beans. And she did it all in Spanish. Even more so when we left the gate open and she got out and we couldn't find her for like 3 or 4 days. We finally found her a week later in the Walmart parking lot. She was selling tamales. That's how we knew she was Mexican right there. And I remember growing up, a lot of the families would go back and forth to Nogales to buy stuff. Before that, I'm going to talk about, well, mattresses. I don't know what hookers you're going to see in Nogales, sir, but they would go back and forth to Nogales. They would buy furniture there, food is cheaper there, clothes are cheaper. You can get stuff you want cheaper in Mexico. Even now, gas is cheaper in Mexico. You know, prescription drugs, they're cheaper. Prescription drugs, but it's Mexico. You never know what you're going to get, right? I took my wife to Rocky Point, to Puerto Peñasco, and I wanted to surprise her, so I went to a drugstore and I got some Viagra. For 4 hours, my arm was like this. I couldn't even pee, my arm was so stiff. But I'm very proud to be Mexican. Thanks for giving it, darn folks, really. Do I have any Latinos in the house? Make some noise, let me hear you. There you go, that's enough for a revolution right there, that's all we need. A lot of my friends say, you're not a real Mexican, man. You were born here. That makes you like a Chicano or like a Hispanic. So I decided to combine those 3 words, Mexican, Chicano, Hispanic. So now when people ask about my ethnicity, I can tell them, let me see, Mexican, Chicano, Hispanic, I think that makes me a mechanic. I'm glad to know you know some mechanics. That's great. Oh man, but you know what? Everybody had to have, in our neighborhood, everybody had to have a watchdog. And the dog of choice was a German Shepherd. Okay? Because they were ferocious dogs. They're big dogs. They could jump a fence or a wall faster than any border crosser, that's for sure. Oh, don't you dare laugh at that. That's not funny. But you know, what made even a better watchdog is that a goose. A family bought their kid a goose. Clap your hands if you've ever had a goose on it. Yeah, they're mean. This sucker would chase you, honk, 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 and start nipping at your booty and at your ankles, honk, honk, honk. Chase the German Shepherds up and down the street. It was scared of me. It was a good watchdog. Up until about Christmas. Then it came up missing. Poor kid was devastated. They took my goose. But man, did we eat good that year. Oh man, but it's great to be here. I get to do comedy all over the place. I love doing it. Anybody from Bisbee? No. Okay, so I'm not going to make fun of that. We'll keep going. How about Milwaukee, Wisconsin? How about Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Really? Okay, can you tell me, because I had a gig in Milwaukee, I flew up a day early, okay? Who was the infamous person that was living in Milwaukee? Can you tell me? Do you know? Jeffrey Dahmer. Remember Jeffrey Dahmer? He lived there. So they picked me up at the airport. They said, hey, you're here a day early. Where do you want to see? We got beer gardens here. What do you want to go see? I said, I want to see where Jeffrey Dahmer lived. And he said, you can't, because the owner of the apartment where he lived bulldozed it after all that craziness. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. He bulldozed it. It's all gone. But he saved the refrigerator that Jeffrey Dahmer kept all the body parts in. And there was a big newscast on it. He's selling it on Craigslist. He said, do you want to buy it? I said, heck no, I don't want to buy it. Probably cost an arm and a leg. Oh, don't do me. You're going to be telling that on the golf course tomorrow. And then sometimes they treat you like a celebrity. I got a call from a director of a resort down in San Carlos, Mexico, right there on the beach. He says, come on down. He's telling me this in Spanish. Bring your wife. Come on down. We'll give you a free room and I'll take you to dinner. So we get there. He wanted to talk about doing a comedy show. And so I get there and he says, let's go eat first. Or do you like seafood? And I said, yeah. And before I can get past the yeah, he says, well, I'm going to take you to a place that I guarantee you, and he's saying all this in Spanish, I guarantee you there's nothing, you've never seen a menu like this anywhere in the States. And so it put me in an awkward position because I like seafood, but I only like shrimp and lobster. I don't need mussels, I don't need clams, I don't need any of that stuff. So I didn't get a chance to tell him that. I mean, like crabs, you got to break their legs to get to the meat. Who am I, Tony Soprano? I can't do that. So when we get to the restaurant, he runs in the kitchen, he brings out a filet. And it's right in front of us. He says, taste this. I guarantee you, I bet you 1,000 pesos, which is about $100. You don't know what it is. And so I took a bite, my wife took a bite, and I started laughing. I knew right away. And I looked at her, she said, I don't know what it is. And I said, I know what it is. And the manager said, well, have you ever had it before? I said, no, I've never had it. He says, well, what is it? I said, it's a clownfish. Well, how do you know that? Because it tastes funny. Plus the big red shoes it was wearing kind of gave it away. No, but I'm serious. So then it got even more awkward because he had the chef come out with a tray of stuff and he started going through the menu. He wanted me to taste everything. Have you tasted eel? Have you ever had eel? No. So he cut a piece of eel. He put it on there. Have you ever had pufferfish? And see, pufferfish is dangerous because if it's not prepared right, it can kill you. So now I'm really kind of, well, no, I've never had puffer. He cut a piece of that. Here, taste this. Have you ever had sea lion? I didn't even know you can eat sea lion. Yeah, you cut a piece off and taste this. Have you ever had orca? Orca, yeah. Never had her cut a piece of orca and put it on there to taste. I was just happy that we didn't see sperm whale on the menu. I don't know if I'd be too crazy about wanting to taste that. I don't know. My wife was a little disappointed. That was scary. But I'm excited to be here. I've had a great summer this year. I went to my class reunion. Woohoo! I'd never been to a class reunion. Woohoo! I was excited. Party on! It sucked. Because I was homeschooled. My freaking sister didn't even show up. And she was my prom date. No, I'm kidding. I went to public school. We had our 50th class reunion. And wouldn't you know it, all the girls who wouldn't date me in high school showed up to this one. And I hadn't been, I think I went to the 10-year reunion and I just stopped going. So I thought I better go to this one because too many people were dying off and I wanted to see everybody. But you know, I was kind of taken aback seeing all these people. Now, understand, I was a good-looking cuss in high school. But I was the class clown. Nobody took me seriously. So I always got this. Hey, Diane, you want to go to the movies? Oh, David, you're so funny. You're cracking me up, making me laugh. And then the second thing was they didn't have an MC for the celebration. So they said, Dave, why don't you welcome everybody and just kick the night off. And I was still kind of, feeling all these bad emotions about these girls. So this is what I did. I said, okay, welcome to your 50th class reunion. We are the survivors. We are here. Give yourselves a big round of applause. They did. And I said, guys, I remember when all these chicks were hot seniors. And now they're just seniors. With hot flashes. And of course, the guys loved that. The girls booed me off stage. But one girl in particular, she was a cheerleader all 4 years and I had a crush on her. I was a band nerd. So I knew I never had a chance with her. She wouldn't give me the time of day. But it was just as well because she was dumb as a bag of hammers. I swear. I mean, back in high school, she thought the Big Bang Theory was a ride home on the football bus. Oh, don't know me. You're going to be using that one on the golf course tomorrow too. But you know what? I wouldn't give up those times for anything. Growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, who did that? Round of applause. Who was there? Yes. Oh, you sound happy about it. We had the best bands. We had the best music. We had the best movies, the best television shows. Even the best commercials. And some of them have survived to today. You know what? I want to do something. I'm going to try something. Okay, so I'm going to sing half the commercial, and I want to see if you remember the other half. You're going to know this one, because this one has survived over the years. So if I sing the first half, you sing the second half. Like if I sing, and like a good neighbor, you guys sounded like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir for a second. I heard harmony and everything. That's great. How about this one? Remember this one? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what really fizz. Yeah, the Alka-Seltzer commercial. That was a fun one. Remember the fat guy would come out and say, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Remember as a kid growing up, this one, Frosted Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Yeah. How about this one? Oh, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener. It's the only time you can say wiener in school and get away with it. So now the only commercial they have out now, which is a really cool commercial, and I laugh every time I see it because they really put a lot of work into trying to sell the product. I'm going to sing the whole thing. You're going to know the last word, I promise you. When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. The Pepto-Bismol, they make diarrhea sound pretty. That's how they... But you know, it's crazy because the one thing that this generation has that we didn't, of course, is all the media shows. They have Netflix, they have Tubi, they got Roku, Hulu, and all this kind of stuff. And even on Netflix, for my Latino friends, we had a movie a couple months ago, it was still on Netflix. It's a Mexican superhero called the Blue Beetle. Did you see, anybody see this movie? The Blue Beetle, that's a Mexican superhero. Woo! We finally got one. They call it the Blue Beetle because nobody would come out to see the brown cucaracha. And then they have a series. That's a big thing, series. They get you hooked on these series. I got hooked on this show called Alone. And it's a contest. They drop various people off in the wilderness, and you got to fend for yourself, Jack. You got to build your own shelter. You got to make your own fire. It's kind of like camping on steroids. But if you don't kill a rat, if you don't kill a squirrel or catch a fish, you're eating the nastiest stuff. I'm telling you. Like they'll eat bugs and insects and worms and anything else you might find in a Filiberto's burrito. But it's bad. It's bad. I was watching it the other night. This guy was starving so bad that he killed a rabbit and he ate it raw. Oh yeah, he got real sick, constipated. They had to get him off the island, get him to the hospital. I think he died. Yeah, the doctor said he had a wild hair up his wazoo. I don't care what your pronoun is. That's funny right there. It's another one you're going to be telling on the golf course. So I love just making people laugh. My wife, she thinks she's funny. So we're at the age where we're starting to forget little things. And the other morning she woke up, she was frustrated because she was trying to tell me the story, but she couldn't remember people's names, faces, or who they were. And being the smart aleck that I am, I rolled over in bed and said, "Hi, I'm Dave, your husband." She looked at me, she said, "What? You mean I'm married?" Yeah, so she's over here filming me, as a matter of fact. How about giving her a round of applause for Yeah, she thinks she's funny. I've been doing comedy for about 20 plus years. And I wanted to get her opinion. So I asked her, "Hey, honey, I'm thinking about doing a one-man comedy show." She says, "Why? Don't people show up?" That's grounds for divorce right there. That's all I'm saying. And guys, does your wife ever do this? Does your wife ever ask you a question? And instead of waiting for an answer, she leaves the room? Do they do that? She does that to me all the time. She'll ask me something and then get up to leave. So this time, I thought, okay. She asked me about how my doctor's appointment went. Okay, all right. She started to get up and leave. And I thought, I'm going to lie to her now. Doctor said that I should be able to sleep in as long as I want, have breakfast ready for me the minute I wake up, have a woman at my beck and call, and be tucked in at night. So she put me in a nursing home. Don't laugh, I have to be back by 10 o'clock. Well, we're at that age where I mean, acid reflux, it's a flavor. You know what I mean? It's just, and you know, your body changes. I mean, you wouldn't think to look at me now, but in my 20s, I was buff. And now I'm buffet. Your body, where are my people over 60? Clap your hands if you're over 60. Your body changes, especially with the guys, you know what I'm talking about. We have no bladder control, none. I dribble more than the Harlem Globetrotters. That's all I'm saying. Alzheimer's, I don't want to get that Alzheimer's. Boy, I'm scared of that Alzheimer's. It runs in the family. I had an uncle who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and right before he was diagnosed, he came over to borrow $1,000. He had to fix his car. And he doesn't remember borrowing the money. He's my uncle, what am I going to do? You know? But on the plus side, I've been able to collect 3 times. So that's it. But I'm telling you, I'm really having a trouble with my memory. And the doctors, the medical association, and pharmaceutical companies, they are no help. None. When I went to that doctor's appointment, I told the doctor, hey doc, I need something for my memory because I'm a comic. I can't forget punchlines and setups and the whole bit. You know, what can I do? What is there out there? He says, this is what you do. You go out to the pharmacy and you ask for some phosphatidylserine, some Ericium rhinoceros, some ginkgo biloba or Bacopa monnieri. Any one of those will help your memory. I can't remember where I put my freaking car keys. You want me to remember that crap? Jeez Louise, I can't. You might as well have said, hey, go to the pharmacy and ask them for some. That's what it sounded like, man. I can't remember all that. It took me 3 months to memorize that joke. But I lost about 35 pounds since January. Wow. The doctor said I was on the verge of a heart attack. He says, you got to stay away from the 40s. And I thought he was talking about malt liquor, 40s. And he says, no, the 4 T's. Tacos, tostadas, tamales, tortillas. You can't have any. And I said, Doc, give me a break. I'm Mexican, man. Growing up in our house, lard was a beverage. That big old blue can of Hormel, shoot, we stuck straws in it. That was dessert for us. So then the doctor sent me to a nutritionalist who was 3 times fatter than I was. That's like getting marriage advice from a priest. You know what I mean? It was bad, man. I tried luckily I had some friends of mine who, you know, they cared about me. So one guy called me up and said, hey, tomorrow, I'm picking you up at 5 o'clock, man. Be ready. We're going to go walk Tumamoc. Clap your hands if you know what Tumamoc is. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, there's a mountain. Tumamoc is the mountain higher than that, right behind it. And I don't even know what Tumamoc means. I think it's a Tohono phrase that means forget it, you ain't going to make it. Go eat some fry bread or something. So he picked me up and oh man, I was dying. My muscles were cramping. I was sweating profusely. I was on the verge of tears. Dude, call 911. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. The guy says, dude, we just got out of the car. We're still in the St. Mary's parking lot. Come on, the mountain. So I tried every diet imaginable. I used to work with a gal that she used to eat and make herself throw up. What is that called? Bulimia? Oh, I couldn't do that. Well, try this. You'll lose weight if you eat naked in front of a mirror. So I tried that. And the mirror threw up. The mirror lost 25 pounds. So my wife finally put me on an all-protein, no-carb diet. But by that time, I was already depressed. I'd fallen into a funk. And I was just kind of moping around the house. And she got tired of it. She scolded me. She says, you know what? Forget the diet. If you got to cheat, cheat. I'm tired of seeing you like this. I'm tired of seeing you walking around. If you got to cheat, cheat. I thought, okay, well, that's an option at least. And everything was fine and dandy till I brought my girlfriend home. And then now I'm the problem. You know? I'm just trying to live for as long as I can, especially after COVID, man. That was crazy, COVID. You know, people had to get shots and boosted. If you didn't get your shots and stuff, this is America, Jack, that's on you. But I got boosted and I got shotted up and people were complaining about the side effects. Yeah, people had side effects. My wife, she got those headaches, migraine headaches. And the gal next door, she got muscle cramps in her legs. And I had my side effect. I got an STD. I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure it was COVID. That's all I'm Remember when they had the toilet paper shortage? That was fun, huh? You couldn't find toilet paper anywhere, and it was $1,000 like a roll. We had to go to a bootlegger in our neighborhood. No drug dealer. He stopped selling drugs to sell toilet paper. $20 a roll. You could buy a 4-pack for $50. That was a deal. And I got tired of paying that kind of money, so I got smart. That Christmas, I saved all the tamale husks. You're right. We all had rashes, but we were clean, Jack. I was teaching at the time, and I decided all my classes were on Zoom. And I'm a music teacher, so it's hard to do that. You know, you can't hear a whole band playing when everybody's playing at the same time. I decided to retire. That's it. I'm done with it. And I started trying to do other jobs. For a while, I was a night stalker at the grocery store. At least that's what the restraining order said. But believe it or not, I was a school teacher for 40 long years. 40. Thank you. Thank you very much. I only got fired from one job. That was it. I moved around a lot, which was cool. But it was my sense of humor, my personality. You know, I was always looking for the funny. I was always trying to make somebody... And people are sensitive nowadays. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. So, it was my first gig as an assistant principal. I'd never been assistant principal. I was hired as assistant principal. School hadn't even started yet. 2 weeks before school, I'm meeting my monitor and security staff. And I'm reading their name tags. Mr. Gonzalez, welcome aboard. Mr. Johnson, nice to have you. Miss Garcia, thank you for coming in. And there was a little scrawny little Anglo lady. I couldn't read her. Her name was funny. I couldn't pronounce it. She says, my name is Miss Mulatalo. Mulatalo? Is that Mexican or is that Hispanic? Is that Hawaiian? She said, no, my husband, he's Samoan. And I said, well, I'm some Mexican. When I cut the grass, then I'm Samoan. And, you know, we chuckled and we went on the meeting. 2 hours later, I'm in the principal's office. They wanted to fire me for a racial slur. It was not even my joke. It's a buddy of mine from El Paso. I'm telling this story. He's laughing his tail off. And he says, serves you right for stealing my joke. That's not why they fired me. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So as far back as I can remember, they always gave me, I taught middle school most of my career, they gave me 6th graders first period. Now, when 6th graders in the 5th grade, they walk around like their stuff don't stink, like they're seniors in high school. You know, they get to middle school, they're scared. And so I have this little icebreaker. I get them together the first day of class, and I say, okay, who's the smartest kid in here? And you always got that one kid jumping up and down. Me, pick me. Okay, all right. In a minute, I'm going to ask you a question. How you answer that question is going to determine how smart you are. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I said, okay, all right. Do you have any holes in your underwear? And all the kids are starting to giggle, and he's looking around and all embarrassed. No. Well, how do you get your legs through? You gotta have holes in your underwear. I don't care what your pronoun is. That's funny right there. They'll be telling that to your grandkids, I'm telling you. And so, you know, they work for me, they laugh, and we have a good time. When I was about 26, I was asked to teach at Pima College. And you know, college, anybody can go to college. Folks in their 40s, folks right out of high school. So I was kind of concerned because I was so young. Are they going to treat me like a student or like a professor? So the first day of class, I'm getting an anxiety attack. I'm seeing students come in, they're filing in. And I think, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought, I'm going to use that icebreaker. Yeah. I'll use that icebreaker. We'll get along great. They'll love me. Okay, great. Just then, this beautiful redhead, fiery redhead, green eyes, gorgeous complexion, a body that wouldn't quit, and one of those form-fitting dresses that go all the way to her ankles. It shows every curve in her body. Marches down. She's a little loud. Comes down to the front row, sits right there in front of me. She could reach out and touch me. And I'm thinking, oh my God, now I got to stare at this bump. Let's just get this class started. Okay, class, I'm looking for the smartest person in here. Who is that? She raises her hand. She's the only one who raises her hand. I'm looking around. I said, okay, ma'am, you think you're pretty smart? She said, I am in college. And then she said, duh. And everybody, all the Mexican students were, she said, duh, dude, oh, she burned you. Oh, that's embarrassing. And I was taken aback, like, wow, where'd that come from? All right. The gloves come off. Now, I'm going to get her. Okay, ma'am, in a minute I'm going to give you a question. How you answer that question is going to determine how smart you are. Are you ready? Fire away. I said, all right. I looked at the guys up there. All right. Do you have any holes in your underwear? She looks at me like this. Psst. I'm not wearing underwear. That's what I did right there. I had nothing. No comeback, no snappy answer. I'm the comedian. Never mind the sexual sexual harassment implications I could have gotten fired for alone with that joke. I had no comeback. But that's not why they fired me. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Do we have any school teachers in here? School teacher? Any retired? Yes? Well, clap loud. Be proud of that. How about giving them a round of applause? Really? Were you a school teacher as well? Oh, you just clapping. Okay. Well, because teachers, they don't know. We're like Vietnam vets, man. You don't know. You weren't there. But don't back me up on this. Whenever a sub calls in sick, we have to cover the class. Nobody, and they can't get a sub, we have to cover the class. Nobody likes doing it, it sucks. Okay. And so I get this note, hey, you got to cover 4th period, 5th graders, social studies class. And so I get there, and there's no lesson plans, which means it sucks even more. Just a note that says, teach them about the 50 states. And so I asked the class, what is this about the 50 states? One kid says, sir, she wants to test us, and we haven't even started that unit yet. You haven't started it yet. She says, you guys don't know anything about the states? Well, we know about Arizona. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I have them for a whole hour. Then the comedian in me kicks in. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make it a game. It's going to be a fun game. I'm going to give you a joke, a riddle, or a rhyme about each state. You're going to tell me what state I'm talking about. And they were jazzed. They were fired up. Okay, yeah, it's going to be fun, all right. In fact, you guys can play along like you're part of the class. Let's see if you're smarter than a 5th grader, all right? Here we go. Here was the first question. When cell phones were first invented, which state had the highest cell phone bill? Anybody?
New York.
Not New York. Not California. Texas. Texas. Oh, don't moan me. That's funny. That's clever right there. Texas. So now you know how the game goes. Let's try another one. What state sounds like a small soft drink? A small soft drink. Anybody? Minnesota. Are you from Minnesota? No, not at all. And it sounds corny, but you can see the kids mouthing it. Minnesota. So they're trying to retain the information they're learning. Okay? This is an easy one. This is a little kid one, so you're going to get this. I'm sure you are. What state is a pirate's favorite? Arkansas. Yes. Are you from Arkansas?
Yes, sir, I am.
Boy. All right. Okay, this one you're not going to get. They didn't get it. And if you don't get it, don't feel bad. What state has the largest people? The largest people. Anybody? Okay, here it comes. Ready? Oh my gosh! Utah! Utah! I'm giving you a lot of golf course material right here. I'm going to leave you with this one. What state has the most baby mamas? The most baby mamas. Anybody? Okay, here we go. Are you sure? Idaho. Idaho. That's a joke that got me fired right there, folks. I thought it was cute and clever, right? Idaho. How was I to know that the principal's wife was from Boise? You guys have been a great audience. You're going to enjoy the rest of the show. I know you are.